Hello all and welcome to All Red. What will happen in Arne Slot's first season as the Liverpool gaffer? Well, I'm here to break down each and every Premier League match one by one. This is the channel that is all Liverpool all the time. It's all red. Please hit that like button and get your comments in below as we seek to build the best LFC channel in the world. Yes, even though I'm not an Englishman, we're gonna try. We're gonna try our best. All right, we've got a lot to get through today, and I'm really excited to kind of look at the Premier League fixture list here and match by match, week by week, break down predictions on each and every match, and then at the end, we'll tally up all the points and we'll kind of predict where Liverpool might sit at the end of the season. So let's get started. First week against Ipswich Town away. I'm calling this a win. I think Arne Slot comes out firing, and you're gonna see a trend here. I think the first half of this season, I think Liverpool are actually gonna do really well. They're probably gonna punch above their weight class a little bit because here's what I'm thinking with Slot. He comes in with these innovative ideas and catches teams off guard, right? Because they're not used to someone who can, basically ebb and flow with their own game plan. So I think Slot comes in, and with our current squad, which currently we have no signings, so we're running it back with the same exact squad as last year, minus a few players, and hopefully adding in a few talented youth players. But my thought is Arne Slot does really well in the first half of the season here, and you're going to see that. I'm saying game week 2 against Brentford at home, Arne Slot's first Anfield Premier League game is a win. And I think these first 2 weeks, I think it'll be pretty easy. Not that any Premier League game is easy, but I do feel like we are going to see I think we're going to see some really good scorelines, unlike some of the matches in the past, last season, right? All of our 3-1 wins where we go down a goal early and then we come back to score 3 goals. I think we're going to see perhaps some more comfortable scorelines in the first 2 weeks. All right, game week 3 away to United. I'm going to call this a draw, and I'm trying to be real here with all these predictions. I'm not just going to give Liverpool a win every week. Of course, that's what I want. That's what I want to see. But we need to be realistic here. I think away to United will be tough. I hope I'm wrong. I hope that's an easy win for Liverpool. But just historically, it's a tough stadium to go into, and it's a tough game. It's just a tough match. So I'm giving them a draw there. So 7 points through their first 3 matches. Game week 4, home against Forest. I'm going to call that a win. I think Liverpool will reclaim their Anfield stature that we lost at the end of last season. Home to Bournemouth. I'm calling that a win as well. And away to Wolves. I think Wolves have been, rated a little bit this summer. And I think they're just going to need to get used to some new players coming in after losing, Pedro Neto and just a few top players. Away to Palace. I think this is going to be our first loss in the Premier League under Arne Slot. It is always tough to go away to Palace for us for some reason. They're just stodgy, and I feel like this could be a trap game where we're looking ahead to Chelsea and Arsenal, and Crystal Palace get one of those late goals. It's 1-1 or it's 2-2, and Palace get one of these magical late goals to secure the 3 points. But then, we rebound back at home against Chelsea. Chelsea coming to Anfield, and I have high hopes for that. We go into Arsenal away, riding a win against Chelsea, but unfortunately, I think it's just too much too soon for Arne Slot to be expected to go into the Emirates and secure 3 points or 1 point against Arsenal. I think that's a really tough ask away to the last season's runners-up, who I think are going to be very good this season again. But we come back home, we get a win against Brighton, and then we get another win against Villa, also at home. I think that's going to be a tough one, but at home I give the nod to Arne Slot's men. And then away to Southampton, we'll get another win there. And then it's home to City. I'm calling this one a draw. I think the Anfield energy, the Anfield magic will give us, the power we need to get a draw against City, which against, with Arne Slot in his first season, not a terrible result. Not a terrible result. I think we match up really well with them, and I could see that being a 1-1 or a 2-2 game in a very difficult match at home. I think we'll also go away to Newcastle and draw as well. I think Newcastle are going to be better this year. I think they're going to be decent. I think they're going to be pretty good, barring any major sales here in the last 2 weeks of the transfer window. That's 2 tough games back to back. It really is. And then we get a nice little vacational trip to Everton, just a mile away, just a few kilometers away. But we're going to get a win there. I think Everton are going to really struggle this season. It could be really tough, really long season for them. And then we come back home to Fulham. Fulham always plays us tough, but I'm gonna call that a 3-pointer right there. And then draw away to Tottenham. Tottenham could be interesting this season. Just signed Solanke, which, by the way, Solanke for what, 70 million? That to me is insane. I don't get that. Amazing business by Bournemouth to sell him for that amount. But just wow. I mean, he's a good player, but 70 million, bro? Ugh. Maybe that's the English tax. Back home to Leicester. I think we will get the 3 points there, and then away to West Ham. I also think we're going to win. I don't think West Ham is going to be very good this year. New manager, some new players, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. If that's what they're pinning their hopes on, good luck. All right, so first half of the season, we're looking at 43 points. That's very respectable. Very, very respectable for Arne Slot in the first half of his first campaign. But, hey, that's not all. We got to look at the second half here. We start in January with home to United. And I'm going to call it a win. Hosting the Red Devils, and we will come away with 3 points. Could that be Erik ten Hag's last match with United? We'll see. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. All right, away to Forest, I think we're going to get 3 points. Away to the Brentford Bees, despite them having Fabio Carvalho, I think we will get a W away from home. Ipswich back at Anfield, I think we will absolutely smash. And then Bournemouth away, I'm calling a win. So a very strong start to the new year for Arne Slot's men. And then another win at home to Wolves. So that's going to be, dating back to, that's what, two there. So that's 8 wins in a row I'm calling for. Wow. So we could be in the title race at that point if that is true. But unfortunately, we come against City. At the Etihad, and it's going to be a loss. I think it's going to be a loss. It could be a draw. I don't expect to go in there and win. It could be a draw. This is typically when City start to turn it on. And I think we're going to start to see, Liverpool haven't signed anybody. So I think you're going to start to see fatigue. I think you're going to start to see just some tiredness. I just feel like Liverpool's going to start to drop off here in the second half. We come back home to Newcastle. I think that will be a draw. I think, again, it'll be a tough game against City. I think we'll come back home. We'll get a draw. And then we'll get a win. Southampton coming home to Anfield here. And then away to Villa is going to be tough. I think that's going to be a loss as well. I think home to Everton will be a win. I think away to Fulham will be a draw. Another very tough match. We always struggle away to Fulham, and I think we'll come away with a draw there. Home to West Ham, yes, sir. It's going to be 3 points. But then we come up against, a difficult stretch here. Away to Leicester, I'm calling that a draw. I think we've struggled away when we have to go to Leicester. Obviously, they're not the same team they were a couple years ago. But that's going to be tough, and I think we'll get a draw there. Home to Tottenham, I think we're going to draw as well. I hope I'm wrong there, but I feel like Tottenham will be strong. They've added depth. They're not going to be in the types of competitions we will be in, and so I think they'll be a little bit more fresh. And then away to Chelsea, I'm going to call that a draw as well. Chelsea have like 1 million players on their squad, so I think they'll have some fresh legs as well there. Home to Arsenal, I'm going to call a draw. So that's 4 draws in a row. I think at this point, there might be hope around here where it's like, oh, we could do it. But I think we'll really see a drop off here. Again, I hope I'm wrong. And then we'll get a win away to Brighton. Good old Brighton. Thanks a lot, Brighton. And then we'll win the final day of the season. I don't expect much to be on the line here. And what does that give us? That gives us a very respectable 82 points, which in the last 3 seasons would be good enough to finish third, which is my prediction for Liverpool this season. I come in third behind Arsenal and behind City, who, as Mark Goldbridge said, boring. So, hey, I hope I'm wrong about this in the right ways. I hope Liverpool do challenge for the title and win the title. But new manager with no new signings. Let's be realistic. And I think this is optimistic, actually. 82 points in Arne Slot's first season. Hey, that's good. Okay, look at the other new managers that have come into the league. It takes them 3 to 4 years to get up to speed and get that number of point total. And sometimes it never happens. Sometimes they don't last long enough to get that. So I think that's very respectable. Looking at last year's table, we finished with 82 points. And I think we'll see about the same amounts of draws and losses. If we look back, that's 2 losses there, and in the first half, it's 2 losses for 4 losses. We had 4 losses this past season, and the draws will obviously be the same amount because it's the same amount of points. So I didn't even know that actually before I looked through the schedule here. I just predicted each game, and then voila, 82 points. Hey, that seems about right. We've got the exact same squad, and I think we might come up against some of the same issues. Obviously, we don't have AFCON. We don't have Asian Cup of Nations. So, there might be some fresher legs there. But my hope is that, let's not worry about the FA Cup. Let's not worry about the Carabao Cup. Use those matches and those competitions for the youngsters. Don't play any first-team guys, okay? Can we not do that this year? We don't need to win the quad. Let's focus on the Premier League and the Champions League and see what happens, okay? Because we don't have the depth to go into 4 competitions and play our best players every single game. It's just not going to work. So let me know what you think. Get your comments in below. What did I get wrong and what did I get right? Looking forward to having an amazing discussion with y'all. And I just have to tell you, despite the whole Zubamendi thing and no signings, I am so excited for the Slot era to begin. I hope you are too. And as always, up the Reds.